everybody, I'm Joey Evans, and today we are taking a look at the Doomlings upgrade box. So, Doomlings is one that my daughter actually discovered Doomlings at Gen Con this year. I guess the game isn't brand new, but the upgrade box is. But she discovered it at Gen Con just because she loves the artwork. I'm not going to go into exactly how to play Doomlings. There's another review on the channel you can see about that. It's a very fun card game that I think it feels more family-oriented, but the artwork on it is very endearing. It's all about traits, and it's all about the end of the world, and it's very tongue-in-cheek. It's very cute. But this upgrade box has 5 new things that you can add to your Doomlings game. So we jumped into Doomlings, played that for a while. Like I said, my daughter was excited about it, and then picked this up. Now, before I get to what I thought about all of these, let's real quickly see what each of these adds to the game. Okay, here's the box for the Doomlings upgrade box. It has 5 expansions in there. I'm going to briefly go through each one and kind of give you an overview about kind of what they do and what they add to it. And we'll kind of go in this order. First off are the Dinolings right here. Now, these right here, these all revolve around the discard pile, all right? So you've got a lot of different traits in here, and then you've also got a dominant trait, and then you've got an Aegis card and a catastrophic event here. Now, all of these, like I say, they go with the discard pile. For example, this one. You may play 1 effectless trait from your discard pile. All of them do things like that. These are just straight points. +1 for each dominant trait in the discard pile. So to play, you must discard 1 trait from your trait pile, and then also +2 to the gene pool. So all of these kind of use your discard pile, which is cool because it's very simple to add these to a game. All right, so again, these are all the traits for that. Next, we have Mythlings. Now, Mythlings here, right here, these are probably, I don't know, maybe one of the trickiest in the pack. So again, you've got a dominant trait in here, you've got other traits, and then you're also going to have an age card and catastrophic. Now, let's take the catastrophic one. Eyes open from beyond the stars. -1 to your gene pool. Discard 1 from your hand. The players who discard the lowest value must also discard 1 from their trait pile. And then you've got the worlds in there. Discard your highest face value trait from your trait pile to the old god. So, okay, so those are different ones. Now, all of these are different. These also, some of them are just worth points. Take a look at this one. You may play Righteous from your hand at any time to stop an action that affects an opponent. Kind of like a Nope card, sort of, all right? You may play Orcish Tusks from your hand when an opponent plays a dominant trait. So these are like reaction cards. A lot of them are. So that's why you don't really want to start with these. This is probably one of the more difficult ones to add in, but really after you play a couple rounds, these are some that you can add in. And those are the Mythlings. Next are the Techlings. These are very interesting because you actually attach these to traits. All right, so again, there are 15 traits in here, 1 dominant, and you've got an Age card and a Catastrophe card in here, Age. And then you've got a catastrophe. I can't even talk there. So, all right, for example, this one. Attached to an effectless trait, +1 for each effectless trait in your trait pile. Then also, some of these change the color. Let's see here. Oh, this right here, I like this. Attached to a trait in any trait pile, value is equal to the face value of the host trait. All right, now attached to a non-green trait, host trait is now green. So these are ones that you always can attach to something, and they don't add that much complexity, but it's kind of nice to be able to change the color of something later in the game. So I do like these Techlings a lot. All right, Multicolor, these are pretty simple. These right here, of course, have 2 different colors. So if you are going for kind of color things to add, these are really good. Oh, at World's End, this card becomes a color of your choice. That's the colorless one in here. And again, these just come with different multicolor cards, which are nice to add to your game as well. Okay, so finally, the meaning of life. These right here, these are kind of like hidden objectives that you're going to kind of hand out. I think you give 2 to each person face down, and they keep 1 of them. So these are different objectives you're going to try to get, like this one, +3 if you only have 1 or 2 blue traits in your trait pile, +6 if you have none. So these are probably one of my favorite parts of this because they do kind of add, oh, look at that, the Magician. Ooh, how about that? +3 if you have only 1 or 2 colorless traits in your trait pile, +6 if you have none. I'm a fan of kind of hidden objectives like this. So these are fun to add as well. So anyway, those are what are included in the upgrade box of Doomlings. Okay, so that's it pretty much. Again, like I said, not going to tell you how to play Doomlings. It's on here. But I'll go through each one of those. Multicolor, of course, right here. I I like what this adds, because multicolor adds just that. Because once you start playing those traits down, later you're going to want to pivot and want to get more of a certain color, and these right here add that. So I love the multicolor variety. So this is something that's very easy to add to your Doomling game. Speaking of that, that makes me also like the Techlings, because these Techlings are very interesting. I don't think I would start playing with these, but these, like I said, you attach, and these can change the color of a trait. I really, really like that. It also has different things like take a peek at the next 2 ages. I like anything like that that lets you look ahead. So again, this does not overcomplicate the game, which is something else I really enjoy. Neither one of these does. Take another one, look at an opponent's hand, steal 1 card, and play it immediately. And that's a -1. So again, it costs money, but the action is something that I do like. So these really are all across the board on what these different ones do. This one, for example, hypermelination. Value is equal to the size of the highest gene pool. That's pretty cool right there to play out there, because some of these gene pools can get pretty high. All these are so different, attached to a trait. Host trait cannot be swapped or stolen. These are really cool to attach to different traits to make them more powerful or change your color. So also Dinolings. These right here, these are pretty interesting, because the whole thing on this is Dinolings are fossil records. So they're things you dig up, and you're digging up on these from the trait pile, or sorry, from the discard pile. I do like that. I don't know, I like games that utilize that discard pile, that you can go through there and dig for something, because those also become really fun as you have one in your hand and you see something discarded, because there's a lot of discarding in this game. There's a lot of get rid of your hand, whatever, whether it's the age cards or whatever, they make you get rid of those. This is a way to kind of fish those back out. So these right here also has, let's see, play 2 additional traits, ignore actions, +1 for each dominant trait in the discard pile. This is a -1. All of these have you kind of keep your eyes on those discard piles. Dinolings is probably not my favorite of it. I like the other 2 more, but this is something very interesting to add to it. Now, Mythlings. Like I said in there, Mythlings was one that is probably later down I would add to this, and I won't always play with this, because some of these are very, very different. Like for instance, this one, Necromantic. You may play Necromantic from your hand when an opponent discards a trait. Add that trait to your hand. So these I like, because this really gets you playing on other people's turns. So it's nice, but again, it does kind of overcomplicate the game if you're playing with kids. This is something I would play more with older gamers, teens, whatever. Ancient, here we go. Choose a color. Draw 10 cards. Keep 1 of the chosen color. Put the rest on the bottom of the deck. See, I like that. Here we go. Dragonheart. +4 if you have all 4 colors in your trait pile. That's nice. So right here. Now, finally, we're going to get to, which is, I probably think this is my favorite one, and that is the meaning of life. Like I mentioned here, this right here, the meaning of life, it goes in the back under setup. And like I mentioned, you're going to deal 2 of these cards to each one, and you're going to keep 1 of these hidden objectives. I like hidden objectives in games only because as you look, you're going to see the different points people have and kind of math it, I guess. But then this right here adds that element of surprise at the end to see if you did get that objective or if you didn't, or if you know you're going to have a windfall of points coming your way. Now, that being said, these are a lot of points. For example, this one, the Bilbies. +4 if you only have 1 dominant trait in your trait pile. +10 if you have none. That's a big swing. 10 points in a game like this is a big swing. Other ones are usually going to end up in +6, +7, +8. So these hidden objectives, trying to hit these really kind of adds an element to the game and gives you direction in a game that can seem directionless, because you're kind of just making your traits in the best synergy you can. So that is everything in the Doomlings. For overall, as an upgrade, I would give this an 8 because I think this does add a lot to the game, a game that already I do enjoy, my family loves. So if you like Doomlings, check this out because each of these is so different that it'll always add something different, something that you like in a card game. So again, check this out. Coming down in an 8 for me, this is Doomlings Upgrade Box. I'm Joey Evans, and I'll see you later on the channel.
Hey folks, thanks for joining us for that video. If you haven't yet, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hey, make sure you check out what's happening where I'll cover an app on an iOS or a Switch device, and you can check it out along with me. Thanks very much. You've been watching The Dice Tower.